Yes, in continuation with our last class, we discussed about a windmill and history of windmill. Then what is wind and wind energy, and also we discussed some of the important characteristics of that wind energy and what is the Coriolis effect. The effect means the wind is not always moving in a straight path; it is always moving in a curved path. That is what the Coriolis effect. Okay, and what are the types of wind also we discussed, and the nature of wind. What we discussed is the circulation of air in atmosphere. It is caused by a non-uniform heating of Earth's surface by the sun. That is what we already discussed. And the air immediately above the warm area, it expands and it is forced upward by cool and denser air. The density of the air increases so that the denser air which flow in a form surrounding area, and it causes the a movement of the air. It is called a wind. A movement of the air, we can call it as a wind. The nature of this terrain and the degree of the clouds cover means if the cloud is covered means it won't allow the radiation, so the heat transition is very less. And the angle of the sun, the angle of the sun is also important, and in the sky, and all these factors which influences the wind, the process of the wind. And in general, during the day, okay, during the daytime, the air above the land, the air above the land, a mass tends to heat up, because in the daytime it will tends to heat up more rapidly than the when compared to the water. So land is more heat up when compared to the water in the daytime, but in the night time the water will heat up compared to the land. So land is cooler, water is warmer, but in the daytime water is cooler, land is warmer. So that is what we discussed. Last class we discussed about a breeze wind. Okay, so land breeze and ocean breeze. That is what we discussed in yesterday class. And also we discussed a planetary wind. What is meant by planetary means type of the wind, planetary wind, and a global wind. It is also called as a global wind. The planetary wind causes in a much same way when a cool surface is swaps down from the poles, forcing the warm over the tropics rises. And but the direction of these massive air movement is affected by the rotation of the earth. This planetary wind is affected by the rotation of the earth, and the net effect is larger. Okay, the net effect is large. Countries and clockwise circulation around the low pressure areas. Okay, and come to the next is a local wind. So this local wind, it's when compared to the planetary wind, it is very small, and it is unlike a planetary wind, and it can change the directions, and it is on a very small area. But planetary wind, it is along the entire planet, and it is in a same direction, and the velocity is also same. And this local wind is affected by local conditions and local temperature. That is what we discussed. And dissipate of the wind intermediate nature, the pattern of any particular site remains a remarkable constant over an year. The average wind speed are a greater in an hilly region or coastal areas. We already knew that the coastal areas or hilly regions, the wind speed is very high than the normal land or in the highland. And the wind also tends to blow more consistently with a greater strength over the surface of the water where there is a less surface drag. Where there is a less surface drag, it will consistently move, because in the water there is no distractions, but in the land there is so many distractions. That's why it is not moving in a straight path. The wind speed increases with height. They have traditionally have been measured at a standard height of 10 meters, where they are found to 20 to 25% greater than close to the surface. Means when going with a higher, the wind speed will increases. When the ground, the wind speed is very minimum. At the height of 60 meter, if you take a optimum height of 60 meter, they may be 30 to 60% higher because of reduction in the drag effect. If you go with a higher height, 60 meter, the drag effect will reduces and the efficiency may increases of this wind speed. Okay, so these things we discussed. And also wind energy in the India, we also discussed the importance of wind energy in India, and the India stands in the 4th position compared to the world wind energy, and it is a capacity of 38 gigawatts. These things we discussed, and these are the charts how we dependent on the wind energy. So the first okay, so this is the first chart. So this shows that how we depend on the non-conventional energy sources. In that, wind comes in the first, means 68% we depend on the wind energy, and compared to the biomass energy is a very less 5%, and the waste of water it's a 0%, and the solar energy is 6%. But compared to all these non-conventional, the wind will comes in the first, nearly 68% we are depending on the wind energy, wind power. And this is the second picture shows that how year by year the wind energy generation will increases. In the 2006 to 7, you just see only 7.1. Compared to next year, it increases. Next 2008, it increases. But when 12 to 13, it is reaches 19.1. Okay, it's a gigahertz. But now 2020, this reaches nearly 38 to 40 gigawatt. That much of energy we are generating from the wind. So it is constantly increasing. And if you compare with the state wise in India, okay, the first state is Tamil Nadu. So Tamil Nadu have the more wind power generation. Next Gujarat, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, and in the 5th place Karnataka will comes. Okay, so it is of 2135 a megawatt capacity of wind power generation. Then Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Kerala, and other states. Totally, it is 19.51 at an year of 2013. But in 2020, in the present 2021, it reaches more than a 40 gigawatts of energy generated by purely because of wind power. So next thing is advantages of this wind power. So we already discussed in our first module, okay, some of the brief advantages of wind power. Okay, so here also we are going to discuss. The first advantage is wind power is a cost effective. Okay, it is a cost effective, means a land based utility scale. The wind is one of the lowest priced energy. The wind is one of the lowest priced energy. Of course, solar is also low priced, and wind is also low priced. So this wind is an indirect form of solar energy. Okay, and the costing 1 to 2 cent per kilowatt per hour. Okay, after the production and all the tax or GST included. And because of the electricity from the wind farm is sold at a fixed price over a long period of time, and it is a fixed price, and when compared to the fuel price. So fuel price is continuously increasing, decreasing, but this price is constantly a fixed one. And the energy migrates, the price uncertainty that fuels cost add to traditional source of energies, because the fuel is a conventional one, and this is comes in the non-conventional one. So that wind power is a very cost effective. And the second advantage is it creates the job. It creates the job. So wind energy will create the job. When compared to the solar energy, only the solar panels is enough to generate the electric energy. So radiations fall on the solar panels and generates the electric energy. It converts so radiation into electric energy. But here it won't. So we need a manufacturing of windmills, wind towers, installation, manufacturing creates the job, installation creates the job, and continuous maintenance creates the job. Okay, so nearly when compared to this sector, nearly more than 10,000 workers in the 2000, we are talking about in the 2013. Okay, so more than 10,000 workers and the wind turbine technicians, and they are continuously operating this wind mills. Okay, and also it creates more job when compared to the coming days. But nowadays in 2020, nearly more than 1 lakh peoples are working on this wind turbines in a different companies. And the next advantage is the wind enables a country growth and competences. Yes, a new wind project. So new wind project account for annual investment. Okay, it enables the industry growth as well as competence means. So a new wind projects day to day, so this wind energy requirement is increases. Okay, so that we are going with a new projects, and account of this annual investments in any country, not only in India or any developed countries. So in the more developed countries, going with more wind powers. Okay, and when compared to the US, so nearly 10 billions the US economy is based on this wind power, and the country has a vast domestic sources and a high skilled workforces and can be compete globally in a clean energy economy. So if you go with this type of energy, it is become a clean energy. It's a very clean energy. So that indirectly, if the industry growth means, it indirectly the country growth, and we can compete with a world competitions easily. And next is next advantage is it's a clean fuel source. The wind energy doesn't pollute. The wind energy doesn't pollute the air like other fuels, power planets. Okay, so like the fossil fuels, you can take coal, you can take petrol, diesel. The combustion of these things will produce the byproducts, and that will contribute for the pollutions. But here it won't happen. Okay, it won't contribute anything for the pollutions. It's a clean, it is a eco-friendly. Okay, and it won't cause any byproducts like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen, anything. Only the wind will generate the energy, and that energy converted into mechanical to electrical, and we are get the electric energy for our utilization purpose. Okay, and the wind turbine doesn't produce atmospheric emissions, and it won't cause any acid rain, smog means it is also very dangerous for human health, and acid rain, it's a very dangerous. Okay, and also it won't contribute for any greenhouse effect or greenhouse gases. So it's a clean fuel. And next advantage is a wind is a domestic source of energy. It is a domestic source of energy. The national wind supply is the abundant and inexhaustible. We already know that it is a abundant and inexhaustible. The wind is actually a forms. Okay, so this wind energy over, and if you compare with the only past 10 years, if you just compare with the past 10 years, okay, the power capacity has grown nearly 15%. Okay, and so this is continuously, we already seen in the last chart. Okay, so in that, so this energy is continuously growing one, and this is the largest source of a renewable source of energies. So in any developed countries, okay, and the renewable source of energies, okay, so this wind energy will come in the first. So solar energy and wind energy, they are the major contribute for the renewable source of energies in developed countries. So India is in one developing country, so that we are also more concentrating on this wind energy. Next, it is a sustainable. This is a sustainable energy. Means wind is actually a form of solar energy. We already knew that. And wind are caused by heating of atmospheric air by the sun, and also by the rotation of the earth. So the earth surface irregularities. Okay, and for a long as the sun shine and the wind blows more, and the energy produced can be ours by a sun power across the grid. Means it is a sustainable energy. So if we have more radiations, okay, we'll get the more energy, and this earth rotation is a very constant one. So from that we are getting a constant wind speed, so that we can continuously we generate the wind energy. And next advantage is the wind turbines can be built on existing farm or an ranches. Okay, means the greatly benefits that economy in rural areas where most of the best wind sites are found. In the rural areas, we can find the best site for this wind energy, and the farmers and the ranchers can be continue to work on the land because of the wind turbines use only on a fractions of land, only a small fraction of land we can use this windmills and wind turbines, and we can generate the wind power. Okay, so that it have a very advantageous. So next is wind energy can be used for power vehicles. Of course, we can generate the wind energy, and that energy we can use for driving the vehicles, and power vehicles and normal vehicles also we can use this wind energy and we can easily drive. And the wind power can also use for the pumping water. In earlier days, actually these windmills are used for the pumping the water. So it is one of the major advantages. So we can pump the water with the help of this windmill, and we can use for this water for drinking purpose as well as irrigation purpose also we can use. So these are the main advantages of a wind power. Okay, so next important thing is the challenges. The challenges comes on a wind power or an installation of this wind or an wind power. So what are the drawbacks, what are the limitations, or what are the challenges we are going to face on this wind power, so that these challenges will avoid or will restrict the usage of this wind power. Okay, so if there is no limitations or there is no drawback, or if there is no challenges, then we can 100% we can use this wind power. But the restriction of wind power is just because of these challenges. The first thing is the wind is inconsistent. The wind is, it's a purely an inconsistent. Means wind energy has a lot in common with the solar energy in terms of consistency. Although a wind energy qualifies as a renewable source, the wind speed fluctuate in every day. The wind speed is fluctuate in every day because that wind speed is directly depends on the solar energy as well as rotation of the earth. Rotation of the earth is constant, but the solar energy is not constant. In the cloudy days we get the less energy, in the clear sky days we get the more energies. Okay, and this can be big disappointment to wind turbine developers who will commit every money and every means they are more concentrating on economy of that wind turbine. Okay, and all the projects, whatever the projects, they are come with a very good projects, they are end up with a fluctuating wind pattern. Means if you go with any best projects and those projects are not effectively implemented because they are ended with the fluctuating in the wind pattern. The wind pattern is highly fluctuating one, and this explains why we will not almost away and we use this wind turbines, okay, and installed on the top on the high evaluations. Means all these windmills are installed at a higher height, more than 60 meters, more than 30 meters. Why? Because of getting a constant wind pattern. If you go with the higher heights, you will get the wind pattern is become constant. On the ground, the wind pattern is completely inconstant, and this higher evaluations performed since higher we can go and we can if you go with very higher, and again it leads some other difficulties, like it need a very strong foundations, it need a very huge machines for installations, for maintenance, everything. Again it become a very big issue. And the next drawback is, or limitations or challenges is, the wind power must still compete with a conventional generation source on a cost basis. If you go with a petrol, so for petrol it's a 1 liter maybe 100 rupees, diesel 90 rupees, a coal. So like this, if you go with any conventional, they are less cost, but compared to the wind power, whatever the wind power we are getting, that is becoming more costlier when compared to this petrol or nuclear or maybe idle power. Okay, so that it should be, so the every through the cost of the wind power has decreased dramatically in the last several decades, and wind project must able to compete economically with a low cost a source of electricity, and some of the locations may not widely enough to be the a cost effective. Means so it must be become a low cost so that everyone can easily afford. And next drawback is a good land. Next drawback is a good land based wind sites are often located in a remote locations far from cities where electricity is needed. Actually, we needed electricity in the urban areas, in the cities. Okay, the energy need is more in the cities or in the urban areas, but actually wind power is more available in the rural areas or in the remote areas. So in the remote area, wind energy is more, so that wind power generation is also more. But the transmission from the remote areas to cities, it become a very difficult, and it also leads to the losses in the energies. That's why it become a very big challenge. Okay, so in the remote areas, if you generate 100%, okay, finally it will reach for the city only 30%. So nearly 70% is losses, the transmission losses. So this has become another big challenge. Next challenge is the wind source development might not be the most profitable use of the land. Okay, the land suitable for a wind turbine installation must compete with alternative uses of land, which might be more highly valued than the electric generation. Means if the land is used for irrigation purpose, the land is used for agriculture purpose, or the land is used for any industrial purpose, okay, so that will yield the more profit when compared to the land is used for this wind plant. If you install the wind plant, okay, whatever the that profit is generated, it is very less compared to the profit generated by other source like irrigation or like any industries or any other projects. So it must be compete with all these difficulties. So we have to increase the profit from the this wind plants. That is another drawback. So next drawback is the turbine might cause a noise. Okay, the next drawback is the turbine. Whatever the turbines we are using, so it generates the noise and aesthetic pollutions. Means the turbines what we are using in the windmills, that creates the very noise. You just observe. You may visit any nearby windmills turbine plants. Okay, you just stand near the windmill. Okay, and you feel that it is very noisy. Okay, so you just compare with the solar panels. Solar panels also generate the solar energy to electric energy, but it won't create any noise. But windmills creates the noise because there is a continuous rotation. There is a continuous rotation of the blade, continuous rotation of the rotor, continuous rotation of the gears, continuous rotation of the turbines, continuous rotation of the generators. All these are mechanical parts. Okay, so mechanical movements. So that mechanical movements, it will create the noise, it will create the friction, it will create the noise. Okay, it will create the vibration, and also it causes the aesthetic pollutions. That is another drawback or another challenges in the in the wind power. Next is the wind plant can be impact local wildlife. Yes, this is the most important thing. These windmills are completely disturbs the wildlife like birds. Okay, the birds have been killed by flying into a spinning turbine blades. Means the blades are continuously rotating one, and the birds are continuously means hit by the blades and they are killed. The most of these problems have been resolved by a greatly reduced through the technology developed or a properly siting the wind plant. And some of the bats have also been killed by turbine blades, and research is going on to develop and improve solutions to reduce impact on this wind turbine on these species like birds and the bats. So like all energy resources, the wind project can alter the habits of they are built, and which may alter the suitability of these habitats for certain species. Means if you compare with the solar energy, it won't affect any birds or bats or any species. But this is a one non-conventional source, it will affect the birds and bats. If you go with the hydel, if you go with the solar, if you go with the ocean thermal, it won't affect any species. But here it will affect. It is it have a major impact on the wildlife. Okay, it is also another big task or big challenge. So next, okay, next is the wind turbines are suitable for particular region. That is another challenge. The wind turbines are suitable. So wind turbine means that is a device which converts wind energy into mechanical energy. That is what wind turbine. Clear? So the wind turbines are suitable to a coastal region which receives the wind through the air to generate the power. Therefore, the countries that do not have any coastal, means if the countries don't have any coastal area or any hill area like Iceland, okay, they may not able to get this type of power generation and any advantages of wind power. The location of this wind power a system is crucial, and once it should determine the best possible locations of this wind turbine in order to capture the maximum wind energy. Okay, the like solar energy, okay, which relies heavily on upon the sun, and wind energy is depends on only purely on the wind. Okay, and the next drawback is the wind turbine can be a safety hazard. So in the last couple of decades, the frequently some of the natural calamities like cyclone, okay, tsunami, okay, have been increased considerably. Natural calamities are increased continuously, and now these serves a storm. They causes the storm. They causes the heavy wind flow. Okay, then causes the extensive damage on the windmill. Okay, if more heavy wind or if heavy water flow storms, that may causes the damage to the windmills. Okay, and can be safety hazardous to the peoples who are working in that windmill. Okay, and the away from the land, and it can be it need a very heavy maintenance once the damages occur, so that it should have a safety hazard. And next is installation can take up a significant portion of the land. Of course, this windmill need a heavy installations, and it will take a very good land for this installation. Instead of this land is used for any agriculture purpose, if you go with this, it will acquire all that area, and we cannot do any irrigation, or if we do not any agricultural work. It destroys the agricultural work. That is another challenge. Next, the wind turbine have a visual impact. That is another last impact is it have a visual impact. Means although the wind turbines come with a high catching design, of course, very good aesthetic look. Okay, it's aerodynamic, it's a beautiful design, everything is there. They are impact with a natural beauty of the landscape. When a lot more wind turbines are set up, the area become unsighted, means area become it is unsighting. If it is if that area is with the trees, with the beautiful plants, everything, a greenery, we can easily a beautiful sight. Is it correct? But if you install this windmill, number of windmills, it will destroy all the whatever the trees, whatever the plants, it will destroy everything, and it is become a very unsight to the eye. Okay, and this is a major problem, and we have to agree that it will destroy all the natural beauty. Clear? So these are the important challenges which occurs at the time of wind power generation. So next thing is wind turbine. Okay. So we already know that what is meant by turbine. So what is meant by turbine? Anyone can explain? Turbine is basically a prime mover. Turbine is basically a prime mover which a self-devising. It is a self-devising and generates the necessary power. It is called a turbine. Okay. So here wind turbine, same like a turbine. Here we are using wind turbine. The wind turbine is a device that converts. It's a device that converts whatever the kinetic energy of the wind into a mechanical energy. If the mechanical energy is used to produce the electric energy, here the conversion is in the 3 stages. The conversion is always in the 3 stages. First is okay, wind energy is continuously flowing, and this wind energy, okay, it converts wind energy into, so wind energy into first wind energy into a mechanical energy, then mechanical energy into electric energy. Okay. So, here there are 3 set of generations. One is the wind energy, okay, that wind energy into mechanical energy, mechanical to electric energy. Okay. So, this wind turbine means they are used to convert a one form of energy into another form of energy, that is wind energy into mechanical energy. And after we getting the mechanical energy, the mechanical means the rotation of energy is called mechanical energy. So, that mechanical energy is directly converted into electric energy with the help of generators. Okay, the generators will convert the electric energy. There are a first stage and second stage. First stage is kinetic energy into mechanical, second stage mechanical to electrical, and finally that electric energy we can store or we can use for our useful functions. And come to the construction of this wind turbine. Okay, it consists of, see, these are the some important parts. This is the actual wind turbine. See, this is the actual wind turbine. In the first picture shows that there is an actual picture of wind turbine. It is first with the foundation, second with the tower, okay, and next a power cables. Inside the tower there is a power cable, and it is supported, that tower, on the top of the tower is supported by the generator and nacelle, okay, and this nacelle is just a cover, okay, it's a cover, and inside that there is a gearbox, there is a generator, there is a gates, there is a shaft, everything is there, and at the end of that nacelle there is a hub, okay, and it is with a rotor blades, and finally there is a transformer and the switch yards and the power grids. So, this is a typical picture of the windmill, and inside that nacelle, if you go with, there is an okay, first there is a tower, okay, there is a tower, and in the tower, above the tower there is an yaw motor, okay, yaw drive. So, that yaw motor and drive are they will change the position of that entire nacelle, okay. So, this entire thing, okay, it is placed here on the tower, and here there is a motor and the drive. So, it will rotate this entire thing based on the wind direction, it will rotate that, okay. And next is there is a high speed shaft, okay, and wind direction, there is a wind direction is there, controller, and this generator, this box is called as a generator, and this generator in turn connect with the gates. This is a gearbox, different types of gearbox, and it connect with the shaft, okay, this is a shaft, and this entire shaft is connect with this rotor and the hub, and the hub is connect with the blades, and there is a brake which is installed near the shaft, so that it will control the rotation of the blades. So, these are the main important parts of this windmill. First is a foundation or a base, second is tower, third is rotor, hub, blade, nacelle, rotor brakes, generator, yaw motor, and sensor. Okay. So, this foundation is necessary to it's very much necessary to observe all sort of vibrations which are generated at the time of rotations, and also it provide a strong basement for the tower as well as the another part of the windmills. That's why we need a strong foundation. Next is tower. It's a tower means vertical. It's a vertical column. Okay, it supports the rotor, hub, and other parts. Okay, so it's a vertical column, and inside this tower there is a cables. Okay, there is a ladder and cable. Everything is installed, and the rotor. So rotor is a device which is attached at the end. So at the end of the nacelle. Okay, so this rotor will equipped with the blades, and hub, it is also connected with the rotor, and blades there are three numbers, there are four number of blades, and actually these blades are used to generate the energy. And nacelle is the entire cover, okay, it is mounted on the top of the tower. And rotor brakes are very much necessary to control the rotation of the blades. If the more wind energy, it will continuously rotate at the high speed. So that high speed is controlled by these brakes. Then generator, and it generates or converts mechanical to electrical. So yan motor and brakes, they are the rotations. They provides the rotations for the that entire nacelle, and it will rotate where the wind direction is changes. And the sensors are used to of course indicate the wind direction, and also for any malfunction is taken place in that, it will indicate it by sensors. So this is what the a construction of wind turbine. Okay. Next important thing is wind power.